Welcome on into the Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup. He's Jason Jewell. I'm Jordan Ham. We have a lot to get to. We are in early signing day week. A lot is happening. And Jason, we have quite a few commitments to get to. We'll start with Drake Anderson over at Chandler.
Yeah, I don't think it surprises anybody. He took a visit to Northwestern and he ended up committing to the Wildcats. His father played there. It was the school's all-time leading rusher. So hopefully he can break his dad's records there. He's a guy we saw this year at Chandler High School have a phenomenal year, rushed for over 2,000 yards, and ended up being one of the hottest prospects that we weren't really talking about, as a junior because of injuries. They end up with, two Big Ten offers, being Northwestern and Illinois. So I think this is a good get for the Wildcats.
NAU's future has now been put back in place with Jerome Sowers and his coaching staff. They're already making some noise in the recruiting, picking up 2 commitments.
Yeah, they went right back to work and hit the recruiting trail real hard. Got a commitment from Brick Hudnut over at Paradise Valley 2 weeks ago, and then they added 2 more guys in the trenches in John Clark, a defensive tackle from Liberty High School, and Jaden Lee, a big old mauling offensive lineman from Campo Verde. He's a kid that plays tackle. I think will transition to be a guard, up at NAU. But I think 2 very solid gets for the Lumberjacks.
A few weeks ago, we saw Saguaro tight end and defensive end Giovanni Miranda make sort of a quieter commitment to Nevada, and his teammate Josiah Bradley does the exact same thing just a few weeks later.
Yeah, so I think this is a phenomenal get, a steal for the Wolfpack in getting the 2 players. But Bradley in particular, he's a guy that had multiple Pac-12 offers, in the spring and kind of cooled off a little bit. And Nevada jumped in, got him to an offer and got him to commit. And he's going to sign on that early signing day. So this is a huge get for the Nevada Wolfpack.
We've had a lot of focus on the class of 2018, but we also have a commitment from one of the top 2019 players as well.
Yeah, this is the one that actually surprised me. So Deshane James, the big 6'3", 210-pound wide receiver out of Perry High School, only a junior. He tweets that he's going to go commit. He committed to Iowa State. He's a guy that had some early offers, Arizona State being one of them. But this is one that surprised me just because it happened so early. And I think he's a guy that would have really heated up in the spring and probably been a double-digit offer guy. But good for Iowa State. Now let's see if they can hang on until next signing day.
And now as we shift gears to the offers, 2 of the top performers in the 2018 class both picking up offers.
Yeah, so Zidane Thomas, the running back over at Centennial High School, has really heated up. He's a guy that was committed to Boise State for a long time, ended up adding offers from San Diego State, Utah, and then most recently Louisville, and he has decided that he is not going to sign early on the early signing day. He's going to wait it out until February and sign on the second signing day. I think Louisville and Utah are 2 schools that are really going to be heavy into the mix. I know Arizona State has also showed some interest. So, great for Zidane. He's a guy that rushed for over 2,000 yards each of the last 2 years, very productive. A lot of people were raising their red flag of why is he not getting offers? Well, now they're starting to pour in. And then the other guy that, we talked about, Brock Purdy almost every week on the show, and then the numbers he just put up, he got a huge offer on Monday night coming from Boise State, a system that he fits in perfectly, and it might not be the Power 5 offer that Purdy has publicly stated that he wants, but when you look at a school like Boise State, who's ranked in the top 25 and has guys, drafted in the first round almost every single year, yeah, it's not Power 5, but you got to be a really dang good football player to play at Boise State, and this is not an offer that he should overlook. This is a very good scholarship offer for Brock Purdy, and I would not be surprised to see Purdy end up signing with Boise State on the second signing period.
And the Broncos continuing to recruit Arizona very well, dating back all the way back to the Chris Peterson days, and now with Brian Harsin and his staff as well, they're doing a very good job as well. Now we have some underclassmen who are picking up offers, starting with Jake Smith.
Yeah, let's just do our weekly Jake Smith update. The Notre Dame Prep star added his 19th scholarship offer. It comes from Texas, another big-time offer for Smith. He ended up taking an unofficial visit out and checking out the school and got an offer while he was there. But 2 other guys I want to talk about that got their first offers. So Central High School, not necessarily been a hotbed for recruiting, although they've had some Division I players sign out of there over the last couple years, but they have 2 players in the 2019 class that added Big 12 offers from Kansas. So Cosmos Coete, a very talented defensive end who knows how to get to the quarterback, added an offer from Kansas, his first offer. And Casey Clanton, John Clanton, the head coach at Central's son, John played at Nebraska. Now his son has the chance to go play big-time football football as well. Casey is a tight end, defensive end that has been starting on the varsity since he was a freshman. Obviously, good bloodlines with his dad, but those two guys got offered by Kansas.
And Coach Clanton, for the record, that defense the next couple of years is going to be very good with Cosmos, Casey, and also Cosmos' brother Eloy Quete. Quite a few playmakers, and it also looks like John Clanton could still take the field if he wanted to as well. Now we're going to shift gears. Memphis done a great job recruiting the state with Mike Norvell, Kenny Dillingham. They offer 2 underclassmen as well.
Yeah, both over at Williams Field High School, one being a sophomore, the other one a junior. So offensive tackle, Noah Nelson is the sophomore. He's a massive kid. He's 6'7". He's 260 pounds for being such a young kid. He's got a very bright future. He has an early offer from Arizona State, added his second offer coming from Memphis. And Noah Polagates, he's like a do-it-all athlete, running back, wide receiver, defensive back, held an early offer from Arizona. And then Memphis, again, is his second scholarship offer. 2 guys that are going to be heavily recruited in their prospective classes.
And now we're going to shift gears to NAU. We talked about a couple of commitments. They're also offering quite a few players.
Yeah, so you look at the job that NAU's done. Again, I think they've done a great job over the last 5 or 6 years of really focusing on in-state guys. And they offered some very talented football players. Marco Salas, a big offensive lineman over at Dobson High School, got extended a scholarship offer. Chris Jackson at Mesa High. He was a very productive running back. The most of the Big Sky is recruiting, and Northern Colorado has also offered him. And then Drayson Hall, one of the most productive players in the state of Arizona over the last years, adds an offer from the Lumberjacks.
And wrapping things up, speaking of the Big Sky, there are a couple other teams in that conference who also extended offers to Arizona playmakers.
Yeah, so I like the offers that Weber State has come out. We saw that they made to the quarterfinals, lost to James Madison a couple weeks ago, but Weber State had a great year trying to parlay that great season into landing some of the sleeper prospects in the state. Ilm Manning over at Apollo High School is a kid that got offered by Hawaii, and he tripped there last weekend, got offered by Weber. And then Kylan Weiser, the quarterback of Notre Dame Prep, added an offer from Weber State as well as Georgetown. And then again, speaking of the Big Sky, Ricky Manning, another player over at Notre Dame Prep. So we see the talent that they had this year. He's a defensive back / linebacker. He had his first scholarship offer coming from Idaho.
Can you tell it's getting busy? We are so close to the early signing period, and then just a couple months away from that final signing period in February. Make sure to keep it to the Rock and Refuel Recruiting Roundup each and every week for updates.